Okay, all right, good to go. Okay, so my friends, so for those who are hearing this from overseas, so what is Penang Transport Master Plan? So to put it in layman term, so Penang Transport Master Plan, currently, if you do visit Penang in the past, or if you're staying in Penang right now, I believe that you know that Penang currently does not have any LRT, and our current transport system, okay, it can be said that we do not have how to say, like, quite a reliable transport system. And that is why you always, whenever you come to Penang, you will never miss the traffic jam. All right, before the pandemic, like, if you come during the pandemic, then you won't be able to witness it. But before the pandemic, right, okay, like 2016, 2015, 2014, or up to 2019, you will always see traffic jam. This is something that you cannot miss on. It's like I say, it's like one of the experience that you come and see in Penang. And there's so many cars. And of course, there will be some people questioning, where's the bus? How come so many Penang people are taking car rather than taking public transport? So yes, this is a very good question. So I posted about a polling question. All right, I asked the Green Hero members on my Facebook group. I asked them, hey, why not many of you guys or ladies and men are not willing to take public transport in Penang or Malaysia? So many of them came back to me. All right, most of them gave. I choose the common reason. Okay, for you to know. So they gave me their four common reason. Okay, so these four common reason, right? Okay, what they shared to me is that, okay, one is that it's because it's a hot weather. Okay, Penang, it's so hot, and sometimes it's raining. When it's raining, they can't take the public transport, and when it's so hot, they don't want to take, because why should they sweat when they go on board the bus? It just makes them stink. And some people, right, they have some meeting to attend, or they need to go places. They don't want to be so stinky, you know. And you know, one thing about it is that in Penang there's not much shades as like in Singapore. So in Singapore, right, if you go to Singapore, you take the public transport, right, everywhere you go there's shades for you, so that so that it actually encourages people to take public transport so they don't sweat. It's so cooling, you know, in Singapore. That's why I think what Penang can do is that they should also model after Singapore, to look at how Singapore is actually building that shelter for people and encouraging to take public transport. Okay, this is one, hot weather. Second, second is an unreliable bus transport system, that it's not always punctual and it's always late. When I say late, it's not late by 5 minutes at all. It's late by 15 to 20 minutes. And there's one time I wait for a bus. I'm telling you, I don't own a car. I will usually take public transport. So one of the things is that really frustrating is that one time I wait for the bus for 30 minutes, you know, and that was crazy. And there are sometimes, very rare cases, 45 minutes. And when I asked the bus driver, why are you so late? They said, oh, because this bus, we only have 3 bus only. So that's why the intervals there, and the waiting time is long. So I asked them, don't you guys have budget to increase the, I mean, how to say, increase the frequency and all these things? They said no. And this is very sad. And that is why, you know, when with this experience, like, you think of it, if you keep on seeing the bus being delayed for not just 5-10 minutes, but keep on delaying 30 minutes, 45 minutes, make you late for meeting, make you late, or even disrupt your plan that you want to attend something, it just destroy the whole thing. So that is why this is something that is something we need to improve in Penang and also in Malaysia. Right? This is one of the reasons they say. And another reason is don't know how to use. Okay, yeah, it's quite shocking. Because yeah, to think of it, when I was younger, not to say younger, well, a few years back when I first started taking public transport, I do not know what is what. I don't know what bus go to where. And all these things, it's very complicated. And the only thing that I have to go right is that I have to load to the website itself, and I have to search one by one. Okay, bus 101, bus 102, bus 103, where does it go in Penang? And when I load the website, it's so slow, and the website is not, how to say, user friendly. It's not really easy to be readable, and and sometimes they give location that doesn't make sense at all. Like sometimes, okay, where is this jalan? I want to go to Jelatong. So why are you crossing this road? And then is there any other bus that is able to reach there faster than what it is? There's nothing, you know. It's all like one pager, right? When you click on bus 101, it gives you one page of all the direction, and you have to slowly find and find and find to see which bus goes the fastest to that place that you want to. And when you go into the website, you feel that you're just wasting my time, that I have to go scroll one by one. So it took me at least like few months to get, how to say, to really know the bus number in Penang itself, to know which bus go to which area. it took me at least a few months, I think 4 or 5 months to really memorize the whole number. Yeah, so that's crazy. And yeah, I will never forget the experience. So right now, if you wants to go anywhere using Rapid Penang, please do message me on Insta, on Facebook or WhatsApp, and I can guide you so that I can also do my part to convince you to use public transport, all right? But I know it's not reliable right now, but with me, I hope that with my help, I'm able to support you to also use public transport, okay? And last but not least, one of the common reasons they give it as well, most of them on the comment, saying that it's not safe to use. So many people say that when they take public transport, they don't feel safe when it's congested, like one person touching another, sexual harassment and all these things. And there are also sometimes pickpockets in, because some people have experience of pickpocket in LRT in KL, they told me. So they don't dare, when they come back to Penang, they don't dare to take public transport because they scared their valuable stuff are also being pickpocketed in the buses as well. So this is what is all being shared and told to me on Facebook. And yeah, it's quite worrying to see this all of this issue. That's why what Rapid Penang can do or what Rapid KL can do is that we should actually instill confidence among the public that it is safe to use public transport. And these cases are very rare and it can be prevented. So we need to have, the leader of the Rapid Penang and the Rapid KL or Prasarana has to come front, all right, has to confront the public, give them a message and give them their promise, all right, the top quality of service to ensure that this does not happen and ensure that it would be safe for people to use the public transport. So far, I've been using public transport. I have no safety concern. Just that when it's at night, some places are dark. So when you get down from the bus stop, that is dangerous. So yes, MPPP are already looking to that. I did write something to them. They're looking into it. So the city councils are looking into it to really build some light, make the place more brighter, where it's easy for people to, to walk around during nighttime and also ensure that it's safe for people to use. All right. Like no one is behind luring the dark or waiting to attack you and all these things, okay? So that's what Rapid Penang has been, and KL is doing it, so very good. Okay, so yeah, so that's one. All right, so back to this, okay? So that's why people told me that they don't want to take public transport. So after hearing this, right, you hear the 4 common reasons people not willing to take public transport. So think of this, will you dare to take LRT when LRT is built in Penang itself? And you have to know that in Penang, okay, the populations of Penang, right, it's how many, do you know? Well, when I check on the website itself, okay, if you want to have a clear website, this is from the state government website. It's under the Penang Transport Master Plan website. Okay, so if you go there, you just type pgmasterplan.penanggovernment.my. Okay, you're able to see that the statistics over there. All right. But actually, the human population, if you're looking at it, Penang and mainland, it's close to about 1.8 million from what I read. Okay, and if you read about 1.8 million, right? Okay, if you look at the ridership in, okay, say 1.8 million. Okay, sorry, not move the ridership. Let's talk back to the human population. It says that 1.8 million. All right, and guess how many cars are there in Penang itself? Okay, it says that over 2 million. Okay. And every single day, all right, thousands of cars are pouring down the road, and this and it's crazy. Okay, 2,000 vehicles, in just in Penang itself. So, which means, right, one house will have at least 2 cars, and it's quite true. If you go to any neighborhood, right, if you walk to any houses, you're able to see that one house will have at least 2 cars, or sometimes even more, depends on how big the family is. So this is crazy. So imagine this. So if we already, if the current generation has already bought cars for our children, okay, and in this instill habits for the children, who knows, will become parents one day, to also buy cars in the future for the children, it will not break the chain of getting people to use public transport. So at the end of the day, it goes back to the main question. So if Penang state government is very concerned and really wants to make Penang Transport Master Plan work and wants to have the LRT and everything, think back again. Would Penang Night it's able to abandon their vehicles and cars so that they can actually take LRT? Can Penang Lang do that? I asked a few of my friends, they said, no lah, I already bought a car, this car every month I need to pay, I have to aside part of my salary just to pay this car, and my loan is 9 years. You crazy? When the LRT built, I will have to consider first, because what for? I pay for the car to let it rot oh no, sorry, to let it rust at home. So somebody said that to me. So when I asked around, so this is one reason. Another reason is that, LRT, I support Penang to have LRT, but the problem is I'm not sure whether I want to take or not. But see, first of all, if the LRT station is far from my house, then I won't lah. But maybe once or blue moon, I just take for the fun only, no? But if you ask me to take every day, I won't know. So this is what people tell me, no? Yeah, and really this is all. So if you hear these type of reasons, right, would this give you confidence to really go on as an investor? All right, putting 46 billion, would this give you confidence to really go on a Penang Transport Master Plan? So after hearing all this thing, right, I believe most of you would already be like, I think we should review Penang Transport Master Plan. But then the state government is still wants to go on with this. Why? It's because they have been promising this for the past 2 elections, and they're afraid that if they change this, all right, if they say that, okay, Penang, we are so sorry, we're going to change some of the plan, we are not going to have any LRT, this might actually affect them to win the next general election. Come on, why would the state government be afraid of not fulfilling their promise, okay, which is not realistic? Okay, they should be, how to say, be truthful to their voters. Tell them that it is true, guys. So many of you guys confronted the state government. We understand your concern. 46 billion isn't a small amount of money. It's very big. To raise that amount, we don't have federal support. It's very hard. And really, we want BLT, but then something happened. But to tell you the truth, you have some alternative. So if you confront your voters with the truth, rather than just delaying them for the past 10 years, saying that you want to have LRT for Penang just to win the election, I think that's a stupid trick. I'm pretty sure they're going to use this trick again in the next election, which is going to come very soon. And I'm sure I can let you know that most of them will say the same thing. So as a voter, would you want to vote for the state government again for saying the same reason? I believe most of us will lah, because Penang is a very stronghold. We support the Pakatan Harapan very strongly, and no matter what, we will still support them. But at the end of the day, you have the power to voice out your concern about the Penang Transport Master Plan to your state representative, to tell them that it's okay to tell us the truth. If it's hard to achieve, then just tell us. So if you can, my friends who are hearing this on both Zoom and Clubhouse, please do this to your state representative, okay? At the end of the day, the future of Penang relies on your hand, okay? The voters, all right, votes the leader, and the leaders are, at the end of the day, are just trying to do their best to fulfill what they have promised to you guys. So if you guys raise your concern to this Adun, right, they will definitely listen to you, because every vote counts in winning the election. So do your best in that, okay? And yeah, so, and also another question that I ask people also is that is the bus stop very near to your house or not? Most of them told me it's not. So when you look at the Penang Transport Master Plan, right, most of the LRT station, right, it's also not actually connected to most of the residential area. So how do we encourage people to take LRT? So are we going to get people to park somewhere at Green Lane MacD, and then after that get them to walk up to the LRT and take the train, go to straight away to the airport? Or are we going to get people to park around Komta and just to take LRT, go all the way to the airport? So it's something like we have to think of it. So why? And if you think about it, right, some people say, why not I just grab there? Why not I get my family members to just drop me at the airport? Why should I take LRT? I mean, it's faster. And if I take also, I need to pay. And I'm not sure even how much a ticket will cost, because that's to cover that 46 billion, right? The whole Transport Master Plan, it's not going to be cheap for the ticket itself. So how many years we need to suffer paying a high price just to ride LRT? And this is a question that we need to look into it. And at the end of the day, when you look at the Penang Transport Master Plan, right, most of it, right, it will destroy, I tell you, destroy the beautiful scenery of Penang. Why I'm saying that is that Penang right now have many heritage buildings. It's so nice to see that that not many high concrete walls are being built up yet. But with the LRT, think of it, how many high concrete walls are you going to see it? Will Penang be still the same, all right, as what it is today? The beauty, the heritage city. Would we even lose our UNESCO status when LRT are being built in the city? So think of this. I know that we want Penang to progress. I know that we want Penang to have a very beautiful future, very nice future, a modern future, a very good futuristic concept. But should we jeopardize the beauty of what we have in Penang that makes Penang what it is? At the end of the day, you cannot compare Penang to Singapore. Right? Penang has a town which is a UNESCO city status. We have our own heritage, our own culture that is way different than the Singapore culture. So this is a question that we should leave to our MPs, our adults, our voters, to see whether they really want to see the change in Penang. So if you really want to see all of this being destroyed and seeing all of this just gone like that from the face of the earth, and the future generation may not be able to really benefit from the scene of Georgetown, then just go on and support LRT, and you will see that the future generation will ask you question: why didn't you all stop LRT back then? Why didn't you all protest against it? And then most of us will say, oh, sorry, I really regret for not fighting them. So this is a decision that you have to take into account lah. All right. So yeah. So and next one, let's move on about the tax. Okay. So when you go up with the Penang Transport Master Plan, right, would the tax go up? Definitely right now in 2019, I think most of us in Penang, we read about the tax assessment tax, all right, which YB Jaktiv has already raised this matter, saying that we will increase Penang assessment tax rate, okay? And the reason to that is because we have many projects that we need to maintain by both city council in Penang and Penang mainland. We definitely need to increase the tax so that we can cover our costs of the good facilities that you guys are using, like in youth park, the car parks in Penang, make it very convenient for you all to use it, or even all the infrastructure that is available for the public to use. That is why we need to increase the assessment tax. So what if the LRT comes in? What if we don't have enough ridership, okay, to cover the operating costs? Would this lead to another increase of tax, or maybe a new tax, right, just to really cover the operating costs? Let's say you're not taking any LRT lah, okay? You have a car and you support LRT, but you maybe once in a while you take it. But then the state government suddenly introduced a new tax called the LRT tax, all right, in the future lah. And you have to pay, because even though you don't ride it, you have to pay this tax because you don't ride it. Because why? Because the state government said, hey, we built this LRT for all of you Penang Lang to use it, but at the end of the day, you guys are not supporting it. So at the end, we cannot just abandon the project just like that, because it'll be ugly to do so, or even ugly to demolish it. So we need every Penanite to actually contribute a little bit tax to maintain the operation. Would you want that? Would you want to pay an extra tax, like, special tax just to maintain the LRT in the future? So and also to look into that, right? In Malaysia itself, we sold nearly 500K of cars last year itself. 500,000, that's crazy, nearly 500,000. So why? It's because because last year the tax has been waived for cars, right? So it's 400K in 2020 and 500,000 cars in 2019. So yep, and there'll be more and more people buying cars because of the wave of tax due to COVID-19. And yep, and at the end of the day, you can see that a lot of people buying cars and motors shows that they do not trust our public transport system. Because if the tax has been waived, they are just encouraging people to buy their own car. So they would think, why should I take public transport when I can drive around freely, whenever I want, wherever I want to go? I don't need to have a hassle to actually, I need to stop here, I need to stop there, and then I need to walk there. So at the end, it's you have to look into this perspective. Okay, so that's why you have to look into it. Okay, and so so the tax, go back to the tax. So ask yourself, okay, in 15 years time, would you want to pay a special tax just for LRT? So this is something that we need to look into it and highlight into it, because we don't want to pay something stupid, and that doesn't make sense, and it will be, feel unfair and not justified that you don't take it, but you need to pay it. So look into that, okay? And last, and also another point that we look into it right now is the fishermen, okay? So yes, the fishermen folks in Penang itself, okay, yes, you can give them you can give them compensation money. You can promise them to have a new boat, to have a new jetty and everything. But does this even solve their problem? Because if you build the 3 man-made island at the southern part of Penang, okay, how far does a fisherman needs to go to catch the fish, big fish, small fish, or to catch the crabs and everything? How far do they need to go? Deep into the sea. They need to go very far. I think twice the distance than what it is right now. because the 3 man-made island is not small island, it's very big, and it will destroy the ecosystem around it. And that's why the fishermen needs to go find the deep sea just to fish it. And this will this will need a lot of their effort, and not just effort. Okay, petrols are included and all of these things, and this will actually at the end of the day will also increase, okay, the price of seafood in the wet market itself. So is this something that we want to support it? And if you look at the compensation package, right, given by the state government itself, is there anything from the state government that wants to help these fishermen to upskill themselves? Currently, there is none. So if there's no upskill, right, so I mean, you give them money at the end of the day. I mean, money can be spent in just like a day. And how to say, not just like a day. I mean, even you give them 20,000, I mean, they can spend in the mine and then boom, the money just go off. But is there a way for the state government to really teach them how to make money? Yeah, like through e-commerce or maybe venture to new business rather than just getting them to stuck into a fisherman role. I mean, when I talk to some of the fishermen, I ask them, Bang, Encik, kalau diberi peluang, right? Kalau diberi peluang untuk membuat e-dagang lah, okay, membuat e-commerce, jual barang di Lazada, Shopee, Encik, suka tak? So some of them say, yeah, suka, macam mana? Oh, you boleh ajar kita. So some of them really wants to learn how it is to really set up a e-commerce store in Shopee, Lazada. So the state government can actually bring a trainer to train these fishermen. I think that will be great, because at the end of the day, you are just making a fisherman life even harder, and you force them to go further into the sea just to fish more ship just for their livelihood. And 20,000, I'm telling you, is nothing. Okay, I mean, when the project is started, okay, the 20,000 would have already been gone way before. So look into that. All right. So that's why I hope the state government can also look into this, not just providing 20,000, but also to give these fishermen an opportunity to upskill themselves with whatever they want. Okay, that will be the best gift that the state government can do. Okay, and next is that as you know, right now in the southern part of Penang, sometimes there will be turtles that comes by to the sea to lay their eggs and all. So with the 3 man-made islands, none of this question has been answered. Would this affect the turtles not coming to the Penang shore, all right, seashores, to really lay their eggs and and have the very nice biodiversity there? Would that be destroyed? So the state government hasn't really answered that. No report has been looked into that as well. So this is a big question that we need to look into it. If we put the 3 man-made islands over there, would the turtle come by to Penang, or would Penang lose its beauty and scenery to the marine lives, especially like the turtles and otters? So think of it. All right. And I know some people may say, yeah, they're just turtles lah. I mean, turtles we can always see on TV, can see in other places. Why? I mean, just sacrifice Penang a bit. There are some people who say that. So is that very nice to say it? I mean, of course, greedy people who loves development, they will see this as nothing. But people who loves the environment, who loves animals, who loves the future of Penang to be what it is and to be, to conserve the beauty of it, they will take note of this. So there's always two sides of the coin. So at the end of the day, we hope that everyone can come into a consent and we see what is best for Penang. So I would say that the 3 man-made islands is ridiculous. Okay, if you look at Dubai, all those islands at the end of the day, they built up for nothing because the project cannot be materialized and they just abandoned like that. So the 3 man-made islands, one island, let's just say one island were to build up successfully. What about the 2 if they fail? And then the whole PTMP would just be, like just vanish from the sky, but not just vanish. Okay, it just like disappear from the project, but the legacy will be there. The failure will be there for a lot of people to learn from. So if we can prevent the failure right now, why wait 30 years into the project then give up? So really look into this, okay? And yep. And if you talk about the LRT, right? It's like if not mistaken, it's about 15 billion. Yeah, and look into it, right? If you talk about this, right? If let's see 15 billion, and the populations of ridership, all right? I went to Rapid Penang just now, and they say that the annual ridership in 2014, according to 2014 of the statistics, it says that there's only about, hold on, let me just check it again, confirm here. It says that it's 30,000, okay, 309. Huh. Okay, 30,000, 3000, yeah. Okay, just put runoff there. So 31, yeah, wow. 300,000, wow, for a year. So which means, right, if we divide, let's put 300,000. If we divide, sorry, it's not 300,000, it's 30,000. 30,000 ridership in Penang. Okay, so if we divide by 365, so one day we only have 8,000 people taking taking Rapid Penang in 2014. So 8,000 people are taking Rapid Penang already. So how many people do we need to take LRT to cover the cost? Okay, so I have to study here. So it says that the operating cost to maintain an LRT for a year is 170 million. And our ridership for Rapid Penang is only 8,000. So we need another, okay, so 8,000 okay. So let's just say 30,000. Okay, what's the population of Penang now? So let's just take 1.8, 1.8, 30 divided by 30. Okay, it's only, wow, which means that only 16% of Penang population, okay, it's taking taking Rapid Penang, 16%, you know. So if you want to have LRT, we need another at least 35% of people getting LRT to cover the 170 million cost. Can we achieve that number? Let's just be realistic. If we cannot achieve that number, do we want to proceed further? Because at the end of the day, if we cannot maintain 170 million, where is the state government going to find money? You know, when the project first started, right, we still have another 46 billion in debt. And then annually, we have another 170 million just to maintain its cost. So that is crazy. Why must we proceed with it? I don't see this as a make sense. I mean, as a business person, this doesn't make sense. All right, 446 billion, you succeed into making the project a reality in 20 to 30 years later. Okay, then you need to cover. All right, you have 46 billion in debt and another additional 170 million just for LRT. 170 million just for LRT to cover its costs. What about the tram and other expenses in the Penang Transport Master Plan? That would be crazy. How long does it take for us to cover the debt? That will maybe take us about 200 years by looking at this thing. Okay, 200 years. Or unless if we increase the price of the ticket to be 8 ringgit, 9 ringgit, then maybe in less than that. Okay, so think of this. Okay, as I really don't know. Okay, but as a business person, I would say that this is a crazy thing. And we shouldn't go into that. And what we can do is that the original Penang Transport Master Plan, right, does not touch about LRT or even monorail or even the undersea tunnel and all these things. And what we can actually do is that we can look into ART. All right. So ART is like how to say this thing. It was it's an autonomous rail rapid transport system. Okay, it has been implemented mostly in China, and then Penang actually can have this, I think 2 years ago, but due to the Penang state government, not the state government, due to the arrogance by certain people who insist to push for LRT, we lost the title to be the first state to have ART to Johor. So Johor recently having an ART in the Iskandar Puteri city, all right, and they're having this running around, and it can take up to 500 people. Right, it's like automated. There is no coach over there to actually to monitor and everything. It's all, how to say, it's all digitized. All right, like a very robotic thing, and it's a dedicated lane. So I believe in Penang itself, we can have ART, we can have a dedicated lane, right, and it will be way cheaper. Right, the Howcrow, the first original Penang Transport Master Plan knows that the Howcrow it's about 27 billion. So if we can put this LRT, we replace the LRT with the ART, it will be much cheaper. And ART is so cheap that China has been promoting it to use around its city. Very great. And even Johor is using right now. If Johor is able to promote this, I think if it's successful in Johor, okay, for 1 year, it's going to be worldwide. Not to say worldwide, it's going to be Malaysia-wide, where everywhere will get to see this. And Penang will be like, we should have gone this for 2 years ago. Because of our arrogance, we didn't go with it. So ART, yes, ART can take up to 500 passenger, quite fast as well, like a bus, but it's also fast. But it's cheaper because why? Because you don't have, how to say, like a person driving around. So you cut the cost over there, and so that's why it will be cheaper. And the maintenance cost as well, it's very low as compared to 170 million. It's way lower than 170 million. Okay, it's even lesser than 100 million. and which is crazy. So yeah, so we should look into ART. So of course, at the end of the day, I'm not here just to really, of course, I'm against the current Penang Transport Master Plan, but of course, I like to do my part as well to really to see how I can actually, get the state government to really look into our concerns and really listen to us. No matter how much we fight, they tend to push us away. But at the end of the day, we have to look at every NGOs that really fight for Penang. They really care for Penang. Because without all those NGOs, right, you will not be able to see those illegal hill clearing. All right, the state government may not be able to know about the illegal hill clearing, illegal open burning by e-waste and all these things. The state government will not know all about these things because of NGO. Okay, they highlight and they do this based on the goodwill of the citizens of Penang, and they care for Penang. That's why they raise their concern, go all out to the state government to implement certain policies, get them to look at certain things, which makes them, all right, which makes the state government to become better than what it was before. So at the end of the day, the NGOs are not, how to say, are not anti-development. Okay, they are not, they are not against development, against development for Penang. They're only against, okay, development that is not sustainable for Penang, and that is crazy that we need to pay so much for Penang, and future generations will be a very huge debt and unnecessary tax to be raised up in the future. We don't want that. We love Penang. We want to see Penang grow to become the leading states in Malaysia than like what it is, the highest contributor in GDP, great tourism, the culture and the people here are very kind and very caring. That's why we want to continue to do that. We want Penang to be number one, like what it is today. Because if we don't fight for the beauty and the love of Penang, we cannot be where we are today. Why Penang can succeed right now is because, and I believe it's because of the NGO. The state government needs to admit it as well. NGO do play a crucial part in ensuring that Penang has check and balance. All right. So really, I hope that the state government looks into that. And so, and yeah, so remember I told, so how do we, okay, so if we are looking into reviewing the Penang Transport Master Plan, another suggestion that I look into it is that, is to build an app, okay, by the state government itself. The state governments are always looking to, like, they want to go digitize, digital that and everything, blah, 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 making the state government to become leading in the digital frontier. Why not they build an app specialized, okay, for rapid, okay, for, like, you can build a Penang, let's just say a Penang app centralized for all the public transport. Build an app for that. It will make my life so much easier, all right? Back then, if the app exists, it made my life so much easier. Instead of clicking one by one to know which bus go to where, build a centralized app, okay, from the state government itself, from Penang itself, where people go in there, they know what bus goes to where. And not just that, in this app itself, the state government is able to also share its initiative, that what they have done for Penang and what they have done for the people of Penang. And besides that, they can also share other initiatives, not just transport, maybe healthcare, maybe bantuan wang, healthcare, yes, or maybe like if they need someone to talk to, like befrienders and all these things, put all the links on the app itself. It's just like a like a one-stop solution. It will be a great app. Okay, and after that, other states in Malaysia would also follow to be an app. So yeah, try, if the state government can, if you want to do something worth it and something that can be implemented very fast enough to encourage more people to take public transport, look into building an app, because everyone loves an app. All right, and yeah, and also at the same time is that try to cut down from 46 billion to 26 billion, maintain it. Try not to go for LRT. At the end of the day, as I mentioned, if we don't have enough ridership, will not be able to take it. And I know that the state government wants to fulfill its general election promise, but it's okay to say sorry sometimes and be truth to your voters, because the truth matters at the end of the day. The truth always wins, all right? And if you're truthful to your voters, if you're truthful to whatever you do, there's no need for you to be afraid that I scared I lose in the next general election. There's nothing to be feared, nothing to be afraid. Okay, there's you are only afraid when you do something wrong, but when you are correct, there's nothing to be afraid. So do the right thing. Okay, and yeah, so this all. So in short, why am I against the Penang current transport master plan? It's because it's expensive, it's ridiculous. I see that the numbers of people having 2 cars in each home, or even motors, that just make me wonder that would people want to take LRT and public transport, and the annual sales of car itself in 2020 is 400,000, and will increase, I think, in 2021 because of the wave of tax and many other factors as well. And yeah, so yeah, and I also don't want to see the tax go up. So yeah, please. All right, I don't want to see. I mean, we can have tax, but I don't want to see a specialized tax just for paying LRT, and this is unfair lah. For those who don't take LRT, they have to pay it. So this is not very good lah. And also talking about the fishermen folks, so the state government can actually do something for them besides than just paying 20,000. Okay, for the people of for the fishermen, why not the state government come up with something? Okay, come up with something that actually, like I said, upskill them, give them this knowledge of doing e-commerce online. Okay, give them the digital skills they needed to become digital marketer and other things. Okay, that's how you change the life of the fisherman from fisherman to something else. That is better. Okay, because at the end of the day, you build a three man-made islands, you're just gonna make their life harder to just go deeper into the sea, risk their life just to fish even further. And who knows, when they go further, they might go into South China Sea, and they might encounter with military from China itself, and that would be danger. That would put the life of the fisherman in danger. So think of that, okay? And and I also mentioned about reviewing the PTNP. So if the state government can build an app, that would be great, where people can just go in and get all the info of the buses in a one-stop solution. And yeah, look into that, building an app centralized for all its effort, or all the state government efforts and other than just besides the public transport, and also to review and also to cut down from 46 billion to the original one, 26 billion or 28, go into that, right? Please don't go more until 46 billion because that is ridiculous. And look into considering how do you want to cover 170 million if you proceed with LRT. And last but not least, getting ART into Penang. I know Johor is the first state to do so in Malaysia. Let us be the second state to follow after Johor, to model after them, to say that this is something great and something useful that Penang can use it. All right. So yeah, my friend. So I think that's all from me. And thank you so much for hearing my session. I will also upload this into Apple Podcasts and mention Zoom if you guys join in late. And yep. So that's all from me. And thank you. And I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, you can always WhatsApp me, Facebook me to get more to get more in depth. Or if you want to know more about the Penang Transport Master Plan, or if you want to know about bus, like which bus go to where, you can ask me. All right, I will do my best to help you, because at the end of the day, I will do whatever I can to ensure Penang future in a greener, sustainable future, and also at the same time to really ensure that there's a balance in whatever we do. All right, like Thanos said. I feel I'm Thanos right now. So yep. Okay, guys, thank you, and good night, and have a great day ahead, and happy Chinese New Year to all who is listening, who's celebrating, and to those who are not. Happy holiday to y'all. Enjoy your weekend with a great blessing, and go and watch Netflix. All right, and thank you. Bye bye. Siamo tra di noi. Però ti dico e ti inviteremo tutti perché se... So, I'm going to talk about nomination trees. So how people get nominated to go on this app.